So for my topic, uh, for my informative speech, I chose the refugees of Syria specifically because I'm not that informed on the war and what's going on overseas, right? So I did my investigation. There's a lot of information bundled up in that area because it's not just the war in Syria. It's the countries around it. In Iraq, there's war. There's war right now. There's war mostly in Syria right now. It's mostly concentrated there, but there is still war um around those areas as well. But in Syria is where the conflict actually begins. But I want to go back to how how it is that it got to the point where Syria is like the main concentration of where everything's happening. Now, I want to go as far as the Arab Spring. Now, the Arab Spring, it started around 2010, where this the people in Libya and in Tunisia and in Syria as well, um, parts of North Africa, uh, everybody was furious with the economy, with the way they would be treated. It was basically unhuman. So the people they started getting tired of the type of ruling that they had, that they weren't modernized enough. Um, Now, throughout the Arab Spring, the internet has a lot to do with the whole thing spreading around because 2010, internet starts becoming more available to a lot of people. Over there, it's becoming more available, so people start using Twitter and Facebook, uh, and and most of them are communicating in those type of ways. Now, um, in 2010, this guy from Tunisia, Mohamed Bouazizi, he set himself on fire out of desperation, like a call for help, because he was done with everything, and so people in where he lived, they were they were furious, right? And they were furious with what was going on, that a man had to go set himself on fire, right? Uh, so so the people started spreading the idea in the internet, and people talk and everything, but it spread fastly because of that. Um, and people were furious. They were really mad with what was going on, and they started protesting. It started as protests, and and the governments of those countries, which I was saying, well, for this guy, Tunisia, they had a small battle between them, but it didn't last, and the the president, the minister, Ben Ali, he ended up resigning his post. So once once the people saw the type of power that they had in their hands, they they kept doing it, because it happened in Tunisia, but then it started going everywhere around. Like some examples, uh, Tunisia, Libya, uh, Hosni, the dictators from over there, they they ended up resigning, but the only difference in Syria is that um, al-Assad, the president there, his family has been ruling for over 30 years, setting up industries and everything, and he refused to listen to the people. He didn't want to listen to the people. So what he started was a civil war, sending his troops to start attacking the people, and the people fought back. So this started happening a lot. And eventually a lot of rebel groups started started you know started started we're beginning to start wars between each other, and since it was madness, people wanted to declare their country different, from based on what religion they are in, and then there was others that wanted the same thing, but at the same time wanted peace. um ISIS is an example of a radical rebel group who who in no circumstances, if you don't agree with what they what they want, right? As their country, they don't care who you are. They'll just straight up kill you. And I guess they've been successful in that way, just because people don't mess around with other people like that. And so ISIS is starting to take over parts of Syria, and then we have the Free Syrian Army, who's also fighting for their beliefs, but it's not as radical as ISIS. Is trying to protect the people more. And then there's smaller groups that aren't ISIS, but they they do less radical stuff. Trying to control their area of where they live and stuff. So this leads up to how the refugees. Well, the people, they're scared. There's no money. There's no food going on because war is going on, and just a lot is happening. So people are scared. They're fleeing, going on countries around where their country is. Um, a lot of them are accepting them, and most of them aren't. A lot of them aren't either. So right now we're in a situation where they they keep they keep leaving and they have nowhere to go. So it was an interesting topic for me to research, and it's that's where the refugees are right now, and that's my speech. Hope that's good enough.